Part, Senator Francis Heiliger, you are recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon to my colleagues, to the testifiers, to the people of the territory. The only thing
Good afternoon, Senator.
Hi. The only thing I would recommend to you, Ms. Fox, is your rationale as for separating and not sharing with us what you spent last year. The whole purpose of budget hearings, it's good that you tell us what you spent to now justify to us why you would need an increase. So I think that's why several of my colleagues keep asking you, what did you spend before, so we could better understand what your future needs are. I have several questions in regards to, I saw the numbers of this separation for active and inactive. For the District of St. Croix, it's now 14,508. St. Thomas, St. John, it's 20,000. That's a huge difference of active versus inactive individuals. You have about 20,367 versus 14,508 between the two districts. What are you really doing? I know you said you spent 50-something, I believe, thousand to deal with the media, get information out. What exactly are you doing to really get the numbers potentially up? Because to have 14,000 plus in the District of St. Croix versus 20,000 plus of active voters, it's a little bit skewed. How do you really reach out to increase those numbers?
So I'm double checking, Senator. You saying active or inactive? So
Well,
my active,
That's
St.
what you
Croix have
have.
14,000 and St. Thomas have 19.
No, I said the District of St. Thomas, St. John. When you add St. Thomas and St. John, it's 20,000.
Okay.
367 active. It's one district. And in St. Croix, it's only 14,000. So that's a huge difference between people that are active to participate in the
1 minute.
That's something I think you guys need to work on. I was looking at the testimony here, I think that Ms. Wells read, and she touched on, she talked about frivolous accusations. And I know in your testimony you spoke about people speaking out about that. She also said even Honorable Senator Bolkus was attacked as to his
30 seconds.
residency and qualification despite legislature shortly before the 2022 election. I was wondering, whose responsibility is it to verify somebody's residency? Is it the legislature or is it the Board of Elections?
Here's a question to Ms. Wells or myself.
Well, the thing with this
Ms. Wells?
testimony, I saw it in both. When Ms. Wells read it, but I also saw your testimony from August 1st, and it was also in there
Time.
from you.
That's an old testimony of mine.
Well,
I
it
took
was
out.
bifurcated out, so either person could respond.
Ms. Wells.
Okay.
Whose responsibility it is to do what you said, Senator?
Whose responsibility? Because how it's read, it almost seems like we put someone in here whether we knew the qualifications or not. So the question I'm asking, who's responsible to verify somebody's qualifications to even run for office? If somebody recommends someone, how the law is written and says the party will then recommend who is going to take the seat to us, it is not our responsibility, from what I know, to verify somebody's requirements to even sit in this institution. It would be yours. So how this testimony is written, it almost brushes off like we put him in here.
No, I think you're getting a different read on it, Senator, if I may.
But that's how I read it.
Well, I'm saying I think you're getting a different reading on it. What it's saying is this body named this person.
No.
Well,
We didn't name it.
The party.
From what I remember, the Democratic Party, based on the law, named the individual.
because that person was next in line.
No, just, Madam Chair, could I ask a, thank you. I need to get this cleaned up because, okay, one of the things that I know based on law, and even right now, the RNC is actually taking our board to court, and that's the National Republican Party. is
I'm
taking
aware
us
of
to-
that.
Okay. And one of the things they're fighting against has to do with interference in their caucuses and their elections. When it came to, for us, the Territorial Committee of the Virgin Islands, from what I understand, had to have a vote or election or whatever to replace the individual.
True.
So the Board of Elections is responsible, from what I understand, to verify as to all requirements of anyone.
No.
So
Once the
that's not-
territorial committee represented whom they wanted to the legislature, right? Then it was fine.
So it didn't matter if the person was a resident of St. John or not?
Well, once the legislators said, we want this person,
Oh, no.
you represented it. I mean, the party represented that person to you? No?
No.
Yes.
But we have laws that, see, this is why I didn't vote for y'all to get a 60-day celebration, you know.
That's why you didn't vote for what?
I did not vote for y'all to be celebrated for 60 years because I saw a lot of things.
Oh, well.
Well, no, I saw a lot of things where I saw quite a bit of issues where problems occurred, and this is exactly one of them. Because we have laws on the books that y'all are supposed to follow in executing being the Board of Elections or the Office of the Supervisor of Elections, etc. So when you tell me that because we accepted them, it didn't matter, when the law has specific rules and regulations as to who was supposed to represent the island, the at large, I'm concerned.
And who creates the laws, Senator?
Okay, so we have to wrap this up.
Okay,
because
I'll
your
wrap
time
it
has
up
been
quickly.
called,
Just my
Please.
final question,
Yes.
and this is it. Based on the RNC lawsuit, were you in attendance to did you have to oversee the election for the replacement or the decision-making process for the replacement for the at-large seat? And could you share with us what was the outcome of that specific election?
Based on the RNC, you're asking me about what
No,
now?
I'm asking Ms. Fox.
Oh,
No, which at large seat you talking about?
No, I was talking about in the testimony. I am going based on testimony that was brought forward here on the Senate floor. Stop
Okay, so we
questioning
got to
me.
wrap this up, though, because
But
your time has been
I just
called,
asked
so
in the last question, and
ask the question so you could get answered, please,
but she
Senator.
didn't. She said she doesn't understand, so I just wanted to understand. I'm asking one question, ma'am. Based on the RNC election, the RNC court case that's happening right now, when it came to the replacement of that seat, were you over that election based on the law, and what was the outcome of it?
I can answer.
Well, I'm asking Ms. Fox.
Well, I want to answer also because I was deposed and all that. And when there's a lawsuit,
Well, I'm
I can't
asking-
claim any. I can't
know.
answer to anything.
I understand you.
Okay.
That's why I'm speaking to Ms. Fox.
So I'm done with this, okay? I'm done with this.
Okay.
I can't do this. Senator Francis Heiliger, you're recognized for your 4 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon again to the testifiers, to my colleagues, to the people of the territory. The accuracy of what she was sharing, because I recall when I was attempting to register my vehicle, I had a ticket and I had to go up to the courthouse to pay for it in order to finish the registration process. So I do recall and I do understand what you're saying. What kind of upgrades when it comes to technology do you think or foresee for the future of the DMV that you potentially might need in order to better service the people of the territory?
We spoke in the office. We spoke about the dealers, to give them the opportunity to be able to process their own titles and transactions using the BMV system. It's a little complex, but we think we can get that done. That's one thing we are attempting to do.
To look into?
We talked about.
Okay.
Excuse me?
To look into potentially getting that done.
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about the insurance. That's a big thing for us too. Hooking up with the insurance providers so that when someone doesn't have insurance, that we will know real time, and the officers will be able to tell real time that you're uninsured to get you off the roadway, because that is a very serious problem. That's another thing. And then e-titling. E-titling is a move across the nation where instead of us printing an actual piece of paper, like we are saying now, paper is costing us a lot of money, we would authenticate a title where you'll be able to access it electronically. So those are three of the things that we thought that we could do a little, in the near future.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I want to also ask in regards to your website maintenance, because it seems like a lot of your work is now transitioned when it comes to registration over to the online location. How is that working out from a maintenance standpoint? How is the budget aspect of that to make sure that website is maintained and stays intact?
Our website is hosted by the Bureau of Information Technology.
Okay.
And the upgrades and the information that is uploaded or downloaded on the website is done through the Office of Information Technology, which is Ms. Smith. She's IT manager, systems administrator. So that's how it's actually currently being done. The online portion of our website is actually maintained and managed by our vendor, Omni Systems. That's a vendor who does our registration and driver's license. So they do that portion of it via our website. And then we recently added a contact center where you can actually hit contact and speak to someone either live or a virtual agent. That's also through the Bureau of Information Technology. They maintain that portion as well.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Challenges, if you had to pinpoint one specific challenge that could be fixed or improved upon with additional funding, or even if it's a policy or something you have to do internally, what specifically would
30
you
seconds.
believe that could be to help improve the DMV?
I would say our quicker reconciliation process, and we spoke about that earlier. We actually have a manual spreadsheet that we keep track of all of our revenues to ensure that we are capturing everything and it matches with the ERP. And as Ms. Lloyd said previously, we are going through trying to figure out wherever the gaps are and for whatever the reason. So that's where we are with that right now.
Time.
The other challenge would be what we are facing right now is our facility.
Okay. Well, thank you, Madam Chair, for the time. I hope that the DMV continues on the process, because I will say that I have noticed some improvement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Francis Heiliger.